Good morning. Last week I uploaded a video on how to train joint locks by using solo drills, and I showed how striking was essentially an arm lock. Now what I want to do is expand on that video and give you some more examples. Some of what I'm going to show is my work. Some of this I've taken from other sources, and I'm not going to hide that. I'm not going to pass this off as my own work. What you get possibly a bit different from me is the presentation, how I explain it and how I relate everything. So what I did in the last video was I showed how to use an inner hammer fist to train, and we use a focus mitts, and of course you can use the heavy bag, you know, and we were training how to use an inner hammer fist to make an arm lock. So that's what I want to expand on. So what I'm going to show now is the rising back fist. Now I only learned this last year and I think it's a wonderful strike. This is found in karate's MP or Wanshu kata, and it is back fist but moving upwards. Again, my karate friends would be very familiar with this. For jiu-jitsu people this might actually be quite radical. I love this as a strike, I really do. This has got so much power in it when you drive up from the hips. And I'm going to use this to make joint locks. I've also got downward hammer, which again I can train on focus mitts, I can train on the bag, using the hip to generate power to go down. And what I can do here, when there's a partner, is I can train and I can train. And this is extrapolated straight from the kata. This is the work of Sensei in Abernethy. So there's one and there's two. And this is how I can be training this technique. With this particular movement, there's options I've got from this rising back fist. The one that I've got is, having trained this rising movement, is to come under the chin, roll the wrist as in the kata. Roll the wrist, I can then take him down to this position. And I've got options from there. You take Aikido Shianagi, a favoured technique of mine. I've done several YouTube videos on this already. If we abandon the focus mitt, of course there are various ways of doing this, and we've got quite genteel Aikido methods of making Shianagi. We can also get quite brutal with it, and as you can see there, I've used my rising back fist to make a straight arm lock. Going back to what I did a minute ago, I've got it here, things I can be playing with on that, from this rising back fist. I'll be gentle. Okay, hips, rising back fist. So I'm training joint locks by hitting the pads, but there's a straight arm bar. There's a rotational arm lock using exactly the same movement. The final thing I'll show you then, to go back to hammer fists. If you take the focus mitts again, and got downward hammer fist. Again, it's got to come from the hips. You've got to be able to pull down through the lats to get the power. And then we look at another version of Shianagi and apply the same kind of movement. That's now a downward hammer fist. Okay, I can't put that lock on a training partner with that much force. I just rip his arm to pieces. But I can therefore train the joint lock on a focus mitt. Okay. Final example then would be uppercuts. So I can be training my uppercuts, and I can be training shovel variations of an uppercut down here. Again, working the hip, getting the power in. So then when I get a hook punch, okay, and I've then got here, this uppercut is my arm lock. I'm going to train the forceful entry by hitting back, by hitting focus mitts. So I can work this, work the power, and then when I've got a partner, I can work it to the point of pain with safety. So what I've done there is several strikes that are all joint locks. So what I've done is said, look, this is how we can train them in a solo manner, or train them with a training partner. This is how we can learn to put power in, and then how we apply those as joint locks. So I hope that makes sense and is of use to anybody out there. As usual, my thanks to my training partner, Sensei Will.